As the festive season approaches, our city comes alive with celebrations, family gatherings, and increased commercial activities. However, this period also comes with a sharp rise in waste generation, from food remnants and plastic packaging to bottles and disposable items. Keeping Asaba clean during this busy season is not just the responsibility of the government, it requires cooperation from every resident. To help us understand the importance of proper waste management and the critical role played by we have with us Comrade Maxwell Egbe, the State Secretary, Association of Waste Managers, Delta State, and Comrade Osawara Adeni, the State Treasurer of the Association. And they will be telling us the responsibility of you and I and what this agency does in waste disposal in Asaba. Thank you for joining us, comrades. It's great to have you.
The pleasure is ours. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me begin with you, comrade Egbe. Why is why is waste management particularly critical during the festive period?
Thank you very much once again, girls. Good morning and happy new month. Waste generation is something that is eminent. You cannot avoid it. Everybody generates waste every single day because of what we use. And even when we want to go a little further, we said even the human body, when somebody dies, it becomes a waste itself. So, because I say this because some persons say that if they don't generate waste, there's no need for a waste manager to come to their place. Waste is something that is not supposed to live with people. And waste is something that you don't need at that particular time. Because most of these things we call waste are reusable.
Okay.
So what you don't need at a particular time, at that point in time, and you feel that you don't want to keep it, is what is required to as waste. So at this time, festive period, where we have influx of visitors from both home and abroad and from all walks of life, it is critical that we, that are the residents, we that stay here in Asaba and in Delta State in general, that there is need for us to keep our environment clean. And keeping our environment clean means that we need to trap this waste at the point of generation. We need to cater for this waste at the point of generation. If you are drinking pure water, for instance, taking pure water, or you are taking a bottled water, for instance, as you empty your pure water sachet, or as you empty the pure water, you don't just throw it on the floor. You look for the nearest waste bin to put it in, or you put it in your car, or you put it in your handbag till when you get to where you are going to, then you now dispose it. We need to keep the environment clean because festive period is a period where everybody should be happy. It's a period where everywhere should be neat and clean so that we can have a good celebration. I think I'll stop for now.
Yes. So, Comrade Adeni, from your experience, what types of waste increase the most during celebrations and holidays in Asaba?
Okay, I want to say stick waste
Okay.
and domestic waste and item waste. Because when I mean domestic waste, like what my colleague here just said, influx of people. You know, where we have influx of people, the level of consumption increases too. People go to market and so many things, intakes becomes high. Then when it comes to items too, we're talking about gadgets, house renewal, house building, house cleaning. So those debris that comes out from these things during this Yuletide season, they all generate waste. They now make the waste to be more. So those are most of the things that causes waste during this Yuletide season, because everybody wants to do a renewable environment. You want to clean the environment, you want to cut down your trees, you want to clean your drains and so many things to make it habitable for people that are coming and even you that stays there, so that it peak the celebration season. If you go around some places now, some places have started painting, and in the process of painting they generate waste. When they start doing their scooping, when they're scraping the walls, those old pens are falling out. They are all waste. Some people are changing their gadgets, changing their houses. Some are now, shopping, doing a lot of things. Most of these supermarkets now, they're all now stocking their, wares to ensure that new people that comes in, people who comes within, they will see new stocks for the season so that they will have enough to give to the people and enough for people to buy. So most of those things are the things that are not generating waste during the Yuletide season. Because I know that after this Yuletide season, we will still have another phase of this generation, which will now come to the season of corn and other things too. So you understand, you now laugh. So the level of generation of waste is applicable to some kind of season. So like this Yuletide season that you just mentioned, it has to do with human renovation, human consumption. Yeah.
So, Comrade Igbe, now, your agency, can you tell us more about your agency and your key responsibilities? What you do carry? Because most persons, I can see your colleague is wearing an association of waste managers. Some persons, when they hear about waste disposals, waste management in Asaba, what comes to mind is PSP. So can you give us a breakdown of your agency, your association, and what your key responsibilities are?
Okay, thank you very much. PSP means private sector participant in any area of the sector, but particularly it's been drawn to waste management, as it were. The practice of waste collection and disposal currently being carried out here in Delta State and in Asaba is a widely accepted practice, and a practice that is carried out all over the world in most developed cities, where the government is not responsible for the lifting of the waste from the point of generation to a final place where it is either recycled or where it is being taken care of in terms of treatment. Here, we came as businessmen to see how we can make profit and at the same time keep the environment clean, which is coming to your house, picking your refuse, your waste. You pay us at the end of the month for the services we render you. And this waste are transported to a place where the government wants it to go, and it is further treated or further separated or further, the government handles it from there. Now, our responsibility as waste managers is we try as much as possible to bring everybody that is in this business into one fold for the sake of information, for the sake of to see that the job is done the way it's supposed to be done, the business and the whatever is carried out the way it is supposed to be carried out. We have a state association, we have chapters in the major cities of Delta State, the major local governments of Delta State. We have our colleagues there, we have our association members there who do the same thing. Go to the point of generation, which is the house, pick up the refuse, make sure that it is transported in the manner and in the way it's supposed to be transported, and take it to the government approved dump site. The reason we have to check this person because we don't want to create problem from another problem. If we don't have this association, if we are not together, if we don't regulate the activities, somebody can pick refuse in a truck in Opanam Road and go and dump it on DBS Road. That is highly prohibited if you're a PSB. You must take the refuse to the point of to the point of disposal, that is the dump site where the government has approved. You see us sometimes we complain that we cannot offload our refuse. We carry refuse on our truck for 2 days, 3 days most times. That doesn't mean that there are no bush corners or no empty lands to put it. No. Because of our training, because of the association regulation, you cannot offload your refuse in places where government have not designated. That is one. Two, we try as much as possible to disseminate information coming either from the federal, the state, or the local government, whereby if the government, for instance, the executive government gives a pronunciation now on the waste management matter, it is the duty of this association to make sure that this information goes out to the PSPs in their private offices, their private area of operation. That is why we have chapters. We have Asaba chapter of the Association of Waste Managers. We have Uwe, we have Udu, we have Wari, we have Ugele, we have Sapele, we have Abo, we have Kwale, we have Abraka. managers are in these places to ensure that waste management is done to the best interest of both the public, the government, and the private.
Okay, I loved your honesty when you talked about you people are a group of persons, an agency, an association that came together to make profits,
Yes.
and also keep
The environment clean.
the environment clean. Now, to you, the treasurer, how is the payment like? Because now, how do you said to make profit, how do you make your profits? How do you get paid? Is it the residents that need to pay you directly, or the account that the funds are being transferred to? It's a government account, then the government pays you at the end of the day, or it's the account is managed by the Association of Waste Managers?
Okay, thank you very much. How we've been paid and how the service is being run is like this. As a registered PSP to the Delta State government, the government gives us a tariff. The government gives us a tariff that we take to the public, which are our clients that we want to service, and register them. When we register them, we now tell them this is the government approved tariff that you are to pay directly to your service provider, not to an alternative account. And why you don't pay to an alternative account is for accessibility of fund to render the service. Because when they pay to an alternative account, bureaucracy will be involved, and that is what is affecting Nigeria today. Because most of these agencies, they don't have direct control of the fund under them. So when there are instant things to be done, they need to pass through some bureaucracy process before the money comes. As at that time, it has been overtaken by event. So the government saw it that as a PSP, you are the one rendering the service. You talk to your client, you agree on the government approved amount, then the client pays to your account as a PSP, a company account, because it's not a personal account. You must have the registered company with CAC before you can come in as a PSP and be approved by the government. So they paid into that account. From that account, you as the manager of that service, you have access to that account. So that is how our payment is being done. So clients pay into the PSP's account, which is the manager of that service in a particular area, for him to run the service effectively so that there will be no hitches. So we don't do a second guess account.
So you see, viewers, it's safe. So when PSP for waste management comes to your area and they identify themselves and they give you a registered account, a company account, it's safe for you to make payment into that. So, Comrade Egbe, how does your association prepare differently for the festive season compared to regular periods? Because we've agreed that during the festive season,
Yes.
there tends to be a lot of waste generation.
Yes.
So how do you prepare differently?
Okay, first of all, I want to thank God for this season, which is the dry season. Because usually PSPs have a lot of challenges during the rainy seasons, especially when it has to do with the roads that we ply and the major one, the dump site. Now it is dry season, so our activities and our process services, we have doubled up our services. We held a meeting of the state meeting in Ughelli. That was last week, Friday, and all chapters, their chairman and their secretary, and it was one of our agenda for the day to let everybody know that we are hitting the festive period again. We have to double up our services. We have to make sure that we clean the various cities where we operate, make sure that every PSP is on ground to do their job. We go as far as sometimes relieving some people of their operational licenses if they are not meeting up with the services that they are rendering. We go as much as we can withdraw your service. I mean your license for operational license. So we also check to see that the PSPs, as much as even with the challenges that we are having, that we try as much as possible to do the job to the best of our knowledge and to the best of our capability for now, because a lot needs to be imputed by the government, which the government have not done.
Okay. Now, because we are almost out of time, so let's begin from there, from what the government needs to do, and then also, Comrade Adeni, you talk about steps that residents can take to help reduce waste and dispose of it properly. So we'll talk about the role of the government to help the Association of Waste Managers to do their work effectively, and also the role of residents to dispose waste properly.
Okay. Quickly, the role of government in the area of PSPs and waste management is to increase their partnership with the PSPs.
What do you mean increased partnership?
The word PSP is public-private sector partnership. Now, it means that these three sectors or these three groups must come together on a round table, sit down at every given time to see how we can improve on the sanitation of the state, improve of the work of the PSP. And in doing that, the stakeholders, the government must call the stakeholders to a roundtable discussion. How do we sensitize? How do we manage? How do we make Delta State a cleaner state and a more healthier state? That is one. We don't have that kind of a relationship. Then secondly, we need the government. The work of a PSP, waste managers, is an elephant project. An elephant project in the sense that it is the financial involvement in it is huge. It's something that the government needs to partner with the PSP in the area of finance. Now, which area of finance am I talking about? The wear and tear of a waste disposal equipment truck is faster than any other kind of usage of truck.
Why is that?
Because the leaches you carry, the iron, the metals that they use to make in the truck, wear faster because of the leaches you carry. The water that drains from the waste, it carries a lot of corrosive chemical substance that help to wear out the iron sometime. So you can buy a direct Belgian truck or a brand new truck, and within the space of 3 years, 4 years, you see that the vehicle has gone down. That is why sometimes you see some PSP vehicles, it is rickety. It wasn't like that 2 years ago. It wasn't like that 3 years ago. So we need a facility, a loan facility from the government, like a 5 years repayment plan, where you take money there, you buy the truck, or the government buy the truck for you, and give you a period of 4 to 5 years to repay. Within that time, after paying that, within that 4 to 5 years, you have access to another one. So in doing that, a PSP can get 3 brand new trucks, maybe within the space of 10 years, to continue the work. Because as I'm speaking to you now, a Belgium truck for a PSP work, I'm not talking of a compactor, I'm talking of an open tipping truck, is at close to 20 million naira. So if you put in 20 million naira for just the vehicle alone, one of the equipments that you need, how long do you think it will take the PSP to recover that money within the space of 5 years? So if the government wants to help us, the government will come. If the government wants to make Delta State a cleaner state, the government will partner with the PSPs in the area of truck provision, procurement of trucks, where the PSPs will pay back. Why do I know that will pay back? In C4, during the C4 project, 2015 into 2016, it was only this sector, the PSP sector, waste management sector, that was able to generate money back to the system. Every other project that was government financed, but the PSP, the operations of the PSP, the service of the PSP, brought back money to government.
All right. So, Comrade Adeni.
All right. In respect of your question, that this season, to resident, please, we're in the Yuletide season. First of all, you are the first custodian of your environment, even before the PSP and the government, because I can understand that when you were starting your introduction, you said the environment is everybody's responsibility.
Yes,
now, to clients and viewers, please, it's a Yuletide season. You trap your waste from your point of generation, like from your kitchen. Ensure that you have a paper bag, all your waste from your kitchen and everything, put it in a paper bag, tie it up, then bring it to the bin outside. Then register with a PSP that will come and collect it at a particular given day in a week, so that your environment will be clean and you too will be healthy. So package your wastewater in a black bag and put it in a bin, and call on the PSP on the agreed days that they come to pick your waste and pay for the services rendered. Our service is not abracadabra. Our service is the more you're seeing it, the more we're doing it. It's not like NEPA. NEPA bills you and they don't give you light. But in our own service, we clear the waste and you pay. And if we don't clear, it is there. So until we come to clear, you pay us. So it is service delivery we do. So ours is not like any other kind of service. That's why when you ask how come about the PSP, how come it was generated, and how come that name is that nomenclature is assigned to we alone, because I studied around and I discovered the only business or partnership that ever stand the test of time in this country, Nigeria, was on sanitation at Beko. Those men that carries waste, government that carries shit from the house. Government was not in the business of carrying shit or making the environment clean. Government was not in the business of cleaning houses for people. We were the first person that started that kind of services. That's why that name, private sector participant, became a name, acronym to us. People don't call us waste managers. They call us PSB. But it is a wide nomenclature to other sector. But this is the only sector that is standing and working with that name.
All right, thank you very much, Comrade Adeniyi and Comrade AB, for sharing your insights on how you go about your responsibilities and the responsibilities of the residents as well as it comes to gathering and proper waste disposal. And thank you for the work you and your colleagues do on the day to ensure not just Asaba but Delta State is clean and healthy. Thank you very much. It's the Monday's edition of the morning right here on Delta Television. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, it's time for newspaper review. Please stay tuned.